And as far as
And now we're gonna get into our deep dive topic for this
there hasn't been
week,
too much
which
world news.
Shrikar is gonna introduce.
Well, so there's something called the European Super League that has been in the works for the past 2 years. So the first news broke out 2 years ago that the major clubs in England, Spain, France, and Italy were planning on separating to introduce a new 16 to 20 club format where they were playing head to head against each other. And the
Leaked.
elite, yes, yes.
Yeah, the elite
So
clubs.
now, in the past week, reports have emerged that these clubs have met again, and that talks have proceeded forward. And this time, the teams in conversation are Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, no Spurs, haha.
What a guy.
Oh, every
Had to
chance.
sneak that
Every
in.
chance you have to take a shot.
Oh my god.
Sorry, they're
And
not a
then,
big team.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Barcelona, Bayern
yeah, you
Munich,
got the likes.
PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus. All you name the European big teams, you know them. Are Atletico in there?
Atletico is in there, yes.
AC is there.
Okay. AC Milan is there, which is kind of strange.
But I
it's
feel like
just
I
it's
think
a
it's
different
like-
brand, just like
Yeah,
United.
it's the brand of the
Exactly,
club and the
exactly.
history.
So I think that inclusion just shows alone that this league is all about
Oh,
the
it's
money.
definitely about the money, for sure.
Straight up.
All about the
For
money.
sure.
And okay, so let's start off with your thoughts, Shrikar, since you introduced
So-
it. What
so
do
the
you think
major
about this thing, man?
Point to consider is that it's not a supplement for the Champions League. It is a league on its own, which means that these clubs will have to break away from the Football League. If we're talking England,
Yeah.
that means they're no longer
And that's
affiliated
it, like-
with the FA Cup. They're no longer affiliated with the League Cup or the Premier League.
Yep.
And
And
essentially, that's the
no
only competition
relegation,
they'll be
no
playing in.
promotion.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
yeah.
yeah. It's just
It feels wrong. It feels
ridiculous.
dirty.
Who comes up? It's a horrible idea. It's just it's like something that an 8-year-old would dream up in his dreams.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, I can
Every
see where the
time-
investors are getting the idea from. Yes, in the past 6-7 years,
Yeah,
we've seen an
of course you can
influx
see
of,
it.
tours to Asia, tours to America, and preseason, which have garnered large amounts of money. If you consider Liverpool versus United at I forget the stadium name, but the 100,000 capacity stadium at Michigan U, those tickets, each ticket was worth £80, $80 base price. So if you could sell out that
You're
stadium.
taking away like the integrity of football, the whole spirit of the
Exactly.
competition. If you say these are the best teams in the world and they are going to play that by themselves and no one can enter or leave.
I
like,
mean, there'll be no Merseyside
that's
derby.
it. Like goodbye.
I thought there
for
was a
Spurs,
relegation.
goodbye
I
for
thought they were going to
Everton.
have some sort of a relegation, but certain teams were going to be guaranteed
No.
safety.
No relegation.
No.
What?
It's just you guys are 7 teams. Go have fun in your little league. No one
No,
else
it's
can
not
join
7
because you're the
teams.
best.
It's larger than that.
I mean, fine. There's 16 teams,
Sorry,
sure,
like-
but I mean
I
that
thought-
takes
I heard it
away
was like
from
16
the
to
novelty
20
of the
potentially.
fixture. Like, I don't want to see Liverpool, Real Madrid every 2 weeks. I want that to be like a major highlight in like my
Exactly.
watching lifetime. Because if I see Liverpool, Real Madrid every like twice a year, that takes away from the fact because we played them in the final last year, and before that was 2014. Before that was 2008. So it's a special occasion, right? It's not
So-
something that happens on the regular.
There's a couple things I'd like to add. One, if this was going to be implemented, it sounds like it's going to be, they're going to try to do it for 2021. Two, though, I agree with you guys in the sense that I don't think this should be a thing because for a couple reasons. One, I mean, you're going to shaft all the other teams and you're just saying, like, these are the top teams. These are the only ones that you get to kind of, like, have all the money, the glory, and whatnot, etc. And it doesn't really give a chance for, like, lower teams to kind of, like, build up. However unlikely it kind of has been. But number two, yeah, it also takes away from the impact of when you get say a Real Madrid, like Man U or Chelsea or Man City or whatever side match. It's much bigger now because it rarely ever happens. Whereas if it's a season, you're going to see this regularly, and it's just, I mean, the Champions League is a huge thing because of that. I find there's a lot more at stake because you rarely get to see this, and even there was like federations, like the Football Supporters Federation. Their chair, Malcolm Clark, ended up talking, and I'm gonna try and get a quote here for him. Saying like yet again there's a far-reaching proposal being drawn up by big clubs whose primary interest is making as much money as possible without any any consultation with fans at club, national, or European level. And without fans, those clubs are nothing. And I agree with that statement that I don't think they're consulting the fans. I feel like a lot of the fans don't want this, don't want to see this. It's just
like
it's
we
going to
want
take
the
away a lot
Christmas
of
period.
the...
We want like the tradition to stay intact, and I feel like
It's just disgusting, man. I can't look at it without like being like, what the fuck? So, another couple of facts about it. There's 16 clubs, as you said. There's 11 founding clubs, and 5 invited guests.
So rotating essentially, whoever like is a surprise package of that year, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Some people can get relegated out of it, and some will stay. And there's some that'll be guaranteed to always be in it, no matter what.
And these 11 founding clubs would not face relegation, and we'd be guaranteed membership for 20 years. It's like, what the hell is that? Like, you're just, that's it. You sit pretty, and you look good, and you make money. There's no competition. It's just...
I think some of the 11, too,
That's it.
from what I've heard, are Madrid, Milan, like AC Milan, Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern, Juventus, Man U, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and I think there's one other, but I can't remember who.
PSG?
Probably.
Yeah.
But the rest are all fringe at that point.
So the 5 for the first season were proposed to be Atletico, Dortmund, Inter, Roma, and Marseille.
Marseille, interesting choice. Okay.
But I don't see anything for this.
We'll never have a Leicester again, if that happens.
Yep, that is true.
That will not happen again.
Well, that not necessarily. Like, say,
I mean, who will be the top of the Premier League? Bournemouth?
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is
Tottenham.
No, but what I'm saying is, say Leicester gets included in this Super League, right? There's still a chance,
at least Spurs can
however small.
At least Spurs can win the league.
No, but guys, like, there still could be technically, like, say Leicester gets into the Super League, there's a chance that they could win, and then that would be insanely huge, right? But it'd be very small and very unlikely. But there's been comments actually by some of the big clubs, or lack of comments. Bayern has denied allegations, and Manchester United just declined to comment. So there's obviously something behind here. There's been numerous reports over the years saying that there's been like meetings and things like that. So this is a very real, I'm going to say threat, because I think it is threatening to the current leagues as they stand. And it'll be
also
interesting to see where this goes.
Would you, as fans...
What's crazy is that...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. What's crazy is that the players who would play for these teams would be eligible, basically not available for their international teams.
No, I don't think so. Why not?
Really? Wait, what? Why?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just they would be deregistered by their association, so like...
No, I don't think that plays a
league
factor, because
in
the
their
registration for the UEFA competitions and the club competitions is aside from FIFA.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Unless these... No, I don't think so.
You know what's gonna be...
Chris
you know what's
Matheson,
gonna be interesting?
The MP,
I was gonna say what's interesting of that is you have two ways. You either are going to get the players that are going to go, and then you're going to have some some associations that'll be like, well, shit, we need those players, so we're going to allow them instead of holding a grudge because we want to win. Or you're going to see players be like, no, I'm not going in the Super League because I can't play for international, like my nation, basically.
So UEFA's fighting this.
Oh, of course, because it would destroy them.
Who is actually getting together this Super League and trying to make this a thing? Like, who is
I
this
think it's
group
an
of
American
people?
not broadcaster, but an American group, as far as I know.
An American group?
I think the same... I don't quote me on this, I might be completely off, but the same people who ran the ICC, the International Champions Cup.
Really?
I might be completely wrong,
No,
but that's what I heard.
I'm just trying to look at it right now.
You know what's funny? In Trigar's notes, he specifically says top 6 barring Spurs. He went out of his way to write that in the comment.
It's true.
The truth always hurts, Spurs fans.
Jeez. We will never have any Spurs fans. If you're a Spurs fan, say hi. You are one of few.
Yo, if you say hi, I will personally reply to your comment with the video.
with a video.
Don't get rid of the
Yes.
only Spurs fan we may have.
Yeah,
I really
It
don't
was
think we have Spurs
leaked
fans.
by
Remember the
Football
two people who
Leaks.
subbed off? I think they were Spurs fans.
Probably.
So it was released by Football Leaks, and so
Yeah,
I'm just
Football
trying to
League's
find who.
pretty good at getting stuff out there. But as far as that, is there any other information that you guys have heard of the Super League? It's still pretty quiet and far in the
It's
Non-information.
future.
scary because
I wanna.
it's not just a little thing that was mentioned, but it's like you see all these emails that are really professional and
Mhm.
sent by really prominent people who are trying to make this a thing, and that's scary.
It's money.
because-
It's definitely money. That is entirely what it is. There's no other reason.
I have a question for you guys. As fans, would you stop watching your club if that
Oh,
happened?
you got to know that if this happens, no one's gonna stop watching. I mean, it's such a religion
That's
in
not
most
really
of the
gonna
world.
happen.
I think that no matter what, unfortunately, people will go to it, and I think they kind of got everyone by the nutsack, basically.
No, see, I feel like if
Put
the
it,
players and quality remains, people will watch it. But say, for example, players start leaving these clubs now because of the Super League.
Wait, what do you mean leaving these clubs? Like leaving the Super League clubs or the other clubs?
Yeah, leaving the Super League clubs.
Oh, I can't see that happening. With the amount
don't
of
see that
money they're
happening?
going to be paying these players, there's no way. You would have to be a very much a fan of football to just turn down all that money. And as we can see right now, they take all the money, and there's a lot of deals that happen for it. So I honestly just can't see it.
See, as per some English fans that I've heard on this issue, they've proactively said that they will stop supporting their current clubs because
It's
for
possible.
us as international fans, we watch the footy on TV, right? So it doesn't make a difference. But for them, it's an experience. It's a match day thing.
So
It's
Oh,
embedded
yeah,
in their
sorry.
culture, right? So if they don't go to the FA Cup, like they can support FC United of Manchester or Salford City for that matter, right? Why
Yeah.
would they choose to support United when they clearly don't care about the community?
The one way I see this whole thing going down is, from what I've gathered and what I've read, it seems a lot of fans are against this, like we are.
Mhm.
And from that, if there's some sort of organized, kind of like
Boycott.
boycott of the teams' leagues,
Mm-hmm.
they will change their tune very quickly. But this is going to need to happen before it becomes a thing. So I think people are going to need to start to be vocal very soon
Right now,
and
yeah.
together, which is going to be the hard thing because you're going to have to organize and actually get in large groups as a result. So,
Mhm.
but if
One thing
able to do
football
it.
is great for is getting
yeah,
people together.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if honestly if you can get the boycotts out there, they're going to change their tune very quickly, which I think it needs to. The current form is good.
Yeah,
It's also
great.
it helps
Yeah.
the smaller clubs as well. This would just destroy them because you would see all the the big money going into, let's say, the Premier League, for example. That would just completely change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you saw all the fans for some reason be like, no, we're not watching the Super League and we're just going to the actual PL, like what remains of it. So